Hello, everyone, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Chill Lit. We always appreciate your support and your views. We welcome you in our channel. So we're going to talk about the new travel rules in the United States. And we're going to discuss about the changing immigration law and what you can do in order to travel safely to United States in Trump administration's seemingly crackdown on immigrants and many other people living illegally in the United States. So you're welcome to the show, Lit. We appreciate if you can subscribe. Let's begin. So the United States immigration law have been changing really faster. And now disrespecting the law in the United States is equal to be deported to your home country. And even those who have a visa waiver, who are from the visa waiver countries, now you should now provide your social media for the past 5 years, social media channels and addresses you use so that you can be vetted accordingly. This is a new policy. It didn't exist before the second Trump administration. So let's start. We're going to start with the visa. Secretary of State Marco Rubio spoke about that the visa is a privilege, not a right. What does it mean exactly? Having a visa, it can be denied anytime. It can also be revoked anytime. It can also be cancelled anytime. At least that's what we hear from the Secretary of State administrations, and which means when you have a visa, for example, you all know when you get a visa from Europe or from Africa, from embassies, it doesn't mean that visa allows you to enter in the United States. It means when you arrive at the border of entry, at the airport or at the border, land border, then the border immigration agent, CBP, are the last government personnel to allow you or to decline your entrance. So which means you might even board a flight from Europe to United States, and when you're at the airport in Chicago or in Washington or in Detroit or in California, then you are denied the entry. So don't be surprised. I think it's happening that often for many people or new traveler to United States. That's one. So you should be careful when applying to the visa, but also have all necessary documents when you are traveling to United States before things get worse. Yeah. So for those people who are residing here, who are residing in the United States, if you have a visa, of course you should respect all laws. Otherwise, you will be risking to be deported anytime. You've had Germans, French people who were deported when they were in the United States, and it happens so often nowadays because the IC doesn't ignore anything. The IC, the immigration enforcement agent, are really taking serious everything actually in regards to law and abiding to the law, but also to the immigrant status. That's one. As you might know, also there is this diversity visa lottery. It has been pended or stopped. Normally, people used to apply in October, and now we are in December. Apparently, this diversity visa lottery, when I look at the United States immigration policies, I don't think it will be coming soon, as long as the Trump administration is still there. I think the present agenda is to limit the immigration flows coming in for some times before they reinstate no more immigration processes, and at least that's what the United States administration said when they said they want re-immigration to balance the migration influx between those who comes and those who leave the United States. That's another issue. So, if you are immigrant, if you want a visa, I mean a tourist visa, B1 or B2, please don't stay over 6 months you are admitted to. Otherwise, you will be illegal and you will be deported to your home country, and the chance of coming back will be really hard. That's what I have to talk about this visa regime. Another thing is, asylum. Having an asylum or making an asylum application is legal, and it can allow you to stay legally when your asylum case is pending or under the process. You can legally stay in the United States. But when you commit any small mistake, what they call demeanor, even not a felony, then you are in the lenses of IC and they will deport you, because they are saying anyone who is in the United States, especially immigrant, should respect the law and should not commit any simple mistake. Otherwise, it's serious, guys. It's serious. It's serious, to be honest. And we should be careful. Or you should be careful when traveling or staying in the United States. Another thing is, for example, people might be legal and then after months becomes illegal. In which way? For example, their temporary status terminated for Haitians, for Haiti, for Syria, and now for Ethiopia. Those guys, before they were legal. But now, they are no more legal. They don't have any status. So what happens to them? They become illegal. And actually some congressmen and women have been complaining about this. How you can make someone who was legal illegal and then deport them. Yeah, this is the question that we don't have an answer. That we should that should be addressed to the Kristi Noem, the DHS Secretary of State, DHS Secretary, Homeland Security Secretary. Yeah, and what else? If you have committed a crime, even a minor, please find a lawyer. Find a lawyer so that you can see how to do that, or address your, find how you can be pardoned from that demeanor. There is a way. I realize if you have people who knows the governor or state authority, you can request the process of being freed from that offense somehow. And I think that's what's important. If you have any offense on your book or on your profile, that's exactly what we can say. The other things in immigration, there is fear. There is fear among immigrant community in the United States, fear of being deported, fear of being detained, fear of different things, threats from different corners. So in general, there is fear. There is fear among the people, among immigrant community. Also, when I say immigrant community, it means also like also legal immigrants, even citizens actually, because some citizens are being detained, though they are released in a short time, but in the first place they are detained in a way. So that's what I have to say. And lastly, temporary protected status. Yeah, as I said, it was cancelled for Haitians, for Ethiopians, and for Syria. So now, if they were legal, now they are illegal in a way. The employment authorization permit now is taking more time for the applications, because it seems like the USCIS is taking really longer now to process the employment authorizations, and most people have been waiting 5 months, 6 months, 2 months. It depends to how lucky you are. So we can talk about also those 19 countries banned from the visa from entering the United States, which is among them is Somalia, in the Horn of Africa. There's also Congo, Brazzaville. There's also what else? Libya. There's Burundi. There is many other countries. There is also kind of Venezuela. The list is too long. Iran, and so forth. So which means there are a lot of countries which have been banned to enter the United States, which means citizens from those 19 countries cannot enter the United States of America. And what else among the immigration? Yeah, so the USCIS has paused all immigration benefit from those 19 countries. And again, also the asylum application have been paused. They are all pending. I'm not sure if they are accepting new applications, but what I know is that all asylum applications are now pending, because now the emergency, the priority is for those 19 countries, vetting processes, revetting, and see if even those who hold the green cards from those countries got them in a rightful way, but also are not the risk to the national security of the United States. That's what I would say. What else? So exactly. The vetting process is going on, and now we hope things will be better in the next year, as Trump administration maybe will easy and review their policies towards immigrant communities. Because I think nowadays the policies they have is really, really an aggressive policies, which treats immigrants as other threats to the national security, to the culture, to the American way of life, which I don't agree with. Of course, there are some evil people who might commit a crime, a heinous act, and then all immigrants will be branded as threats to the communities, which is not true. I have to tell you the facts here. Immigrants are more likely to not commit crimes in relations to the citizen. So, and that's why every immigrant should be looked at as an individual, as not representing the whole community of people. And I think that's what is really, really important in this way. I'm gonna be before we close our sessions, I have to tell you that now in Rhode Island is one of the United States part in the northeast part of the United States. That's where Rhode Island is located. 2 people have been died, shot by one crazy fucking criminal, because he shot them, and now the investigation is still going on. And sometimes I wonder why people are so crazy. Why people are so criminal. Why someone would take initiative of going and kill two other people who probably are not, who he doesn't know, just see them and shoot at them. That's terrorism actually, and should be punished with the highest force. I think that's exactly what's supposed to be in this case. Thank you so much. Have a good night. We come tomorrow with some other updates. Hasta la vista. Goodbye. Guten Abend.